For to make no radical change in our heretofore peaceful stretching. All I want to say is, being as our beloved elder done got to a place where his burden done grown too heavy for him to carry single-handed, someone of the flock ought to join in the carry out into the holy work. And help the good elder in the shouldering of this here yoke.
Is there any of you sisters who wish to care to express your opinion on the subject?
All I got to say is, seems to me we just beating about the bush trying to beg the pipe. Now the pipe is we ain't going to make arrangements, but to find someone from among this flock who'll take the place of loving Brother Elder Jones, who's done everything in his power to lead his flock to the straight and narrow path, but who's done got too old to help him any further.
As the chairman of this year board of directors of the Rising Giant Baptist Church, of the adjustment of the officers, I move that we hear what the elder himself has got to say for himself.
Well, children, any plan that you might have for the benefit of the work of God, for the furthering of his name, for the uplifting of his gospel to every living creature, I say to every one of you, under the sound of my voice, that I will be the first to give praise and sing hallelujah to see it brought about.
We'll now have to call on Deacon Johnson to say a few words to this congregation before we take the vote in the usual manner.
The time has come when I must take my place in the harvest and tote the burden of my people upon the road that leads to the land of milk and honey, and away from that other road that leads to fire and brimstone and everlasting destruction. Amen. It takes courage, brothers and sisters, to unsheathe your swords and face the enemy with the cry of battle ringing in your ears. It takes courage, my brother and sister, to believe that the Lord is with you, even though you be outnumbered by your enemy. But if you have faith on your side, yours shall be the victory. In the olden days, the Indians used to do all their fighting with the bow and arrow. Even for that, David slew Goliath with a rock. But today, what do you hear? Man has done made wonderful discoveries. They's waxed in learning. And today, what do you read in the newspapers? White folks done made guns what can shoot 75 times. This new ideas is flying to gain you the respect of your fellow men, and the blessing of him who said, greater miracles than these shall be performed in thy faith in me. I tend to reach down and emancipate this church from the shackles of this superstition and old-time darkness, and find to a new day, when all the black brethren and black sisters can walk with their heads high in the air, proud as a peacock, independent of the morsel of the white folk's gate.
for to collect the vote in this here meeting. Will some sister raise the hymn?
Lead on, brother, lead on.
Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. You better lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. If you better lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. Lead on, brother, lead on. It's unanimously voted and carried that Brother Deacon Jones tender his reservation in the Rise and Shine Baptist Church, month ending April 22nd instinct. Lead on, brother, lead on. 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 Lead on, brother, lead on.
Hello, sir. I hope I haven't been keeping you waiting long. I had to turn in my reports on that meeting, you know.
I don't mind waiting for you, honey, but tell me, how'd the meeting come out?
Well, they kicked him right out of his own church. That poor old man.
You don't say. That sure is dirty. You can't have any luck treating old folks that way.
Sure can. And you should have seen the way those hypocrites were making over charcoal. You'd have thought he was St. Peter himself, the way they were yesing. And him the biggest backsliding sinner in the church.
Well, why don't you get up and expose that shine and tell him just how he's been hanging up in corners?
Do you think I could make them believe anything against that saint? Why, they have me burned like a witch at the stake if I told them half I know about their new deacon.
Well, what are you waiting for now? Did you never get into in that?
Miss Mary Lou, Deacon John said if you don't mind stepping there a minute. Good night, Miss Mary Lou.
Good night. Now, we can't show this new deacon too much that we's with him in all his undertakings. And as a pillar of the church, I say praise his name and glory be the one who sends us to us. Now, here, didn't I tell you not to be skipping rope on Sundays? Come. Another thing we've got to do is to get rid of these locusts in this community.
Them's the kind that make me lazy about attending services.
And I's the kind that make you come and listen to preaching, whether you like it or no.
Well, you was the kind that make me come and even like that kind, whether I want to or no.
Miss Mary Lou, the deacon says to tell you that he expect you ought to attend to your duty with more punctualness than heretofore.
Wait for me, Sugar. I won't be long.
All right.
All right, Brother Longtree. Lead on. Oh, I'm awfully sorry, sir. You're not going to be with us any longer. Why, to me, you're the main part of the Rise and Shine Baptist Church. It won't seem natural-like not to have you on the roster.
Hello, my boy.
Good evening, sir. Glad to see you, sir.
Yes. I guess all that kept me interested was the service I could render those who was depending on me for guidance. And now that that's been taken away from me, I guess I ain't no use.
Oh, yes, you's used, Deacon. You'll always be used.
Why, you've done more for this parish than any other colored man could do. Building this church and raising 2 generations of Christians. You know, you're the one who told us that the reward of good deeds is not to be expected down here, but in heaven.
That's right, children. I did teach you that, didn't I? Is the home of the willing worker. It's getting dark. Kind of early, ain't it?
Why, no, Deacon. The sun is still up. Oh, sure.
Do you care if I walk home with you, Deacon?
No, I expect not. I'm going home. There's a light that guides me, 'cause I'm awful tired and they don't need me anymore. But I got to go alone.
Why, ain't it? He's fainted. The Deacon said, get the water off. Get a glass of water. Get a water.
Get a glass. Oh, glass of water. Maybe it's fainted. Oh, what is
fainted?
Yeah. What water? Sorry.
What do you say should be done with the body of the beloved Elder Jones, Deacon Johnson?
Funeral services at 8 o'clock in the morning. Immediately the Council of China is notified. And before the setting of the sun over yonder mountain, negotiations are underway to restore the brothers of the fatherland in whole or in part. I could go back to the encyclopedia, telling you of instances when a country which was hardly to pick out on the map was treated with the proper disrespect, and apologies was made for same for manhandling one of the brethren and sisters without showing just cause and due reason for such and sundry behavior. These I go back to the good book to revenge you of the power there is in getting together and sticking through thick and thin. Organization's what we need. Organization. With the fear of God in your heart. And the plow in your hand. We'll be traveling to the promised land. God in your heart. And the power in your hand. We'll be traveling to the promised land. I just received word by telegram that the brethren in Tulsa is waiting to join our movement 1,000 strong. Finally there! Yeah! Finally the promised land! Yeah! Save every penny you can get your hands. Save your money, brother. If you got enough pennies, there's $1. Put your dollars together. Don't hold out nothing. Gotta give you every cent for the furnishing of this new home for yourself and all those who care to join the fold. Then in a little while, when anybody molests a black man, the United States of Africa can call him up and ask him questions. And forthwith, there'll be negotiations involving several countries, my friend. But it takes money to get to the promised land, or you can't walk all the way. You can get to Chicago afoot. You can even get to New York afoot. But Africa is a town you can't get to without taking to the water. Now that calls for a boat. Sailing boat. One of them ships. Can you follow me? In the distance fades the rising sun, what's making the hills and valleys of Africa all the colors of the rainbow. There's a word of our coming, and they're standing there, hundreds, thousands of them, waiting to welcome us to the promised land. The sun is shining out and all is splendid. Now I can see what they got in their hands. Something the shape and size of the sweet potato for the cooking. Something shining out in this world. They all have these same shining taters in their hands. And there's a stand in the light. The sun is shining so bright, they look like they're holding fire in their hands. Can you guess, brothers and sisters, what they got in their hands for you? Diamonds! Diamonds! Big as taters! Yes, sir. The ground over there just naturally grows. You don't have to sweat a planting nothing. All you've got to do is to reach down, and there you have the greatest treasure which the whole world's anchored after. In the prime to be there. In the prime of that land of opportunity and prostitution for each and every one. Africa. A stands for Africa, the white man's day. M stands for freedom, the good book says. R stands for races, whether great or small. I stand for suffering without a call. B stands for carriage, which ought to do. Back to A stands for Africa, which belongs to you.
Judge Lee, I'm sorry to disturb you this time of night, but what I got to tell you is important. Charcoal Johnson has got all the people down in the Masonic Hall, getting them all heated up about leaving the plantation and sailing their own ship back to Africa. Judge Lee, you got to do something about it.
What can I do, Sug?
You got to do something about it, Judge Lee.
All right. We'll fix him. Operator. Operator. Give me the sheriff.
The Black Eagle's putting out to sea. All aboard, get your ticket right here. I want to be ready. 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 I want to be ready.
the door. Open the door, name of the law. Open it.
Don't stand there looking at me like you're afraid of. I'm your leader, but I's in trouble. Pull down that shade. Where's your parents, Mary Lou?
Well, they ain't come from the meeting yet. What seems to be the matter, Deacon? What you so excited about? You ain't scared of nothing, are you? Surely the leader of the black race ain't figuring on leaving the ship.
No, the leader of the black race ain't figuring on leaving the ship. But he come to tell you that the load is heavy and the road is long. Without you, him whom the Lord has chosen to lead the people out of the road of disease and starvation into the valley of helpfulness and posterity is liable to fall by the wayside in shame and disgracefulness unless you come to my rescue in the name of the Lord.
Why, Deacon Johnson, I have respect for your work because it surely has brought the light to the eyes of the people of this city. I know exactly what you're asking me.
I's asking you to stand by me, Mary Lou. I's got enemies. White folks hate me because I bring enlightenment to the brothers. And some of the very brethren I's leading into the city of Jerusalem is envious and jealous. And I can't trust no one. But if you say you's with me, I know I can trust you because I loves you, Mary Lou. But things is happening thick and fast. And I can't go on unless I has you, your hand in mine, up the ladder of fame and glory that is waiting for us at the other end of our journey. I wants to marry you, Mary Lou.
Deacon Johnson, I feel the honor of being your lawful wedded wife. But, gee, me and Suge's been going together for a long time. And it would pretty nigh break his heart if I hauled off and got married without his knowing of my intention.
Which comes for the t'other, your duty or your pleasure? Suge is young enough to forget anything and forgive you for any promise you might have made at haste at some time or t'other. Which sounds the prettiest, Mrs. Suge Jackson or the Empress of the United States of Africa?
Why, Deacon Johnson. It's Suge.
Tell him you're going to bed.
I'm sleeping, Suge.
You better wake up, your mom Pollard in trouble.
Oh.
Marcus Garvey. Why, Deacon Johnson.
Tell me quick, what's happened to my ma and pa?
The hell you care. Been telling me how much you hate this here Deacon. Now I find you locked up in the house with him alone when everybody all over town is looking for him. And your ma and pa in the hospital with busted head.
Young man, it's too late for you to be trying to spy on this young lady's character, because as treasurer of the Committee of Financial, she's supposed to be...
Listen here, Deacon. I'm the only one in this town you ain't buffaloed your preaching and promises. Because Mary Lou's been telling me how you've been hemming up in corners trying to force your attention to her, and to browbeat her into one of them wenches you can sweet talk for some loving. She knows what you was after.
You're just standing there doing all that arguing because you're jealous of the Deacon. Besides, the Deacon comes up like a man and asks me to be his wife. He ain't never insulted me by expecting me to be no wench that he can sweet talk for some loving.
I guess you know what that is. Let me see you talk your way out of this. White folks say they're going to run you out of town and I say happy riddance.
Young man, the weight of responsibility hangs heavy over your head. You belong to a race that is doomed unless one of us got the courage to stand up as a leader.
Shoot, the Deacon's right. You'd be a traitor.
I don't give a damn what both of you say. I'm going to tell the world what you two been carrying on. You pretending to be so sanctimonious like. You nothing but a damn hypocrite.
Shoot, for God's sake, don't turn him over to the
Hey, you ain't asking me to you. It's man you on.
Shoot, he ain't my man. And I'll marry you tonight if you just say the word.
Oh, Mary Lou.
Oh, please.
You step into the room. Mary and me'll take care of this.
I put my fate in your hands, Mary Lou.
I'll tell him these lies to you, Mary Lou, because I love
John's been stealing folks' money, and when it's such everywhere and can't find him, we ain't gonna stop till we search every nick of your house and bring him to justice.
Listen here, here. This is the house of respectable citizens. And I fancy that you ought to respect it, especially in the presence of a lady like Miss Mary Lou.
A lady, nothing. She's been a lady around here with that Stephen Buzzard Deacon Johnson. And I bet she's a busy packing right now to skip town with him this very night. What? So that's it. Just you watch these goody-goody gals. Shame on you. Yes, shame on us. Brother, laying around behind the altar. Curse on us.
Tell these filthy mouth shines that there's lying, that there's dirty lies, that you ain't been laying around with no crooked deacon, that you's a good gal I've been figuring on marrying in the morning.
In the morning would have been too late. She could have waited that long to be beat with.
Well, come on, I guess we better get searching. I bet he's under the bed there, just sneaking and stuffing and blowing. I'll take him out of his misery.
Hey, what for is all this meeting in my house this time of night?
Well, what's the matter with you?
Have you heard the news?
Yeah, but the meeting ain't till tomorrow at 10:30 when the train leaves for Tulsa from the Cotton Belt Line station.
What are you talking about?
Why, ain't you heard the news?
What?
Why, Deacon Johnson called
Go
on
ahead, brother,
the
tell
mayor
us
of the city, Mr. Joe Nathan Lee, and explained the rendition of his people to the white friends of the colored people. And for Willie give Brother Johnson the power to lead his people whether he feels necessary. And the deacon thanks the mayor for the whole race and begs due his diligence to lead his flock to Tulsa, to parade the streets thereof. And the mayor up and shakes the black hand of the deacon with full contempt. Well,
and just to think, we was round here low-rating the deacon for nothing. Humiliating his honorable name just cause we didn't know the powerfulness of it.
There's the prosecutor, good man. Well, I'm glad he sure had a chance to recover. Of course, you know, I ain't said nothing about him.
Yes, we is sorry for to come to your house at this late, but we was desperate after the way the deacon vanquished from the hall. People come us to laugh and say we was fooling out all our money.
Well, I'll try me first to put my foot on the gospel training more. I'll see y'all at the train. Good night.
All right. See you at the train.
Listen there, you all. Quit your hollering and shouting. You're as big a fools than I thought you was. It ain't nothing else but a lot of lies you've been hearing.
Oh, man.
I was just a minute ago here talking in this room with the deacon, and he ain't fixing to do nothing else but run away with Miss Mary Lou. You don't have to believe me. Just search that room.
There's something funny about this. Guess I'd better search. Well, sure. I guess Mr. Lawton is right. You ain't the damn
Somebody make a move. I've had enough excitement for one night.
All right.
Send Miss Fanny to me. If I could only get the organs of the newspapers in the carrying out of this here project, there's no telling how soon the truth will come to pass, and the plans which I fomented in my own head will come to fulfillment. But instead of that, they's all united against me. The best friend the colored people ever had. The only one thus far who was able to get more than 3 of them to stick together overnight. The only one who could convince colored people that Africa is the home of the black man, and there's where he ought to be. Back home to Africa is my slogan.
Excuse me, Mr. Emperor, but Mr. Longtree said the lines are ready to be formed for the parade. And they're just waiting on you to give your command and commence the action.
Tell Mr. Longtree I say come here this minute.
Just one more question, please, Mr. Emperor. What is the attitude of the Africans in regards to your transporting 4 million strangers into their land?
Well, now, brother, you done gone too far for me to give you the latitude of the whole of Africa. That comes on another department. Longtree is in charge of all the measurements and machinery of the movement. Fanny, show this report to Mr. Long, and he'll give him any necessary information concerning the latitude of Africa. That's all for the present.
Well, I thank you. I hope you'll grant me another opportunity to interview you.
That's all right. You're entirely welcome. Latitude of Africa.
Yes, sir. Look at here. The band is waiting for the strike as soon as you're ready. Sure is a grand sight. There ain't never been nothing like that since the Lord made us out. One of the grandest parades you ever laid your eyes on. Oh, yeah. Them Tulsa gals is too bad.
Is you keeping your mind on your office, Brother Longtree?
The office is well carried out, sir, and I hope it'll meet your approval.
Mark time till I get back. I just been spoken with one of them reporter fellas, telling about the arrangements we done made with the Africans to come over there and rejoin them in our native land. And he done hauled off and took a likeness of me and put it in the paper.
Who's the Emperor of the United States of Africa, you or me? Tell that newspaper fella that I repose with my revenue assignment. That's the picture to go in the papers with the reportings he's going to do in the papers. Tell Miss Mary Lou I would like the presence of her in this picture in her full regalia.
Why, call Miss Mary Lou. Of course, it was all the doings of that reporter fella. I didn't want to get written up in no paper. That is doubting your concern.
No, I don't believe Brother Lawton was giving it a thought, because I seen the newspaper man talking
I know. I sent him to find your boat. And I'm glad you're with me. So you'll all have our pictures taken together.
Oh, yeah. I will pick the tweet. Yes, sir.
Didn't think I'd grant you interview as soon as this, did you, young man?
I certainly appreciate the praise. All right. Is everybody ready? Steady? That's right. Everybody smile.
Hey, look out there.
Yeah. What's
up there? What do you want? I just come to tell you that the parade is all ready and lined up and ready to travel.
Very well, then. We'll be right there. Is you glad you come to Tulsa with me, Mary Lou?
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be, ain't it?
Oh, say, that's how I'd like it to be, Mary Lou.
Well, that's how it's gonna be.
Of course. Well, there's one or two obstacles in our immediate union in the bonds of matrimony, of which I don't wish to disturb your pretty head. Cause just as I overcome other bridges and fences in my path to glory, so with you side me, I can command the mountains to move out the way and get to the other side, where victory is waiting for the conqueror.
Mrs. Bottoms opens up the house for that back African lodge. They sure is a making looking bunch coon to me.
You better shut up and get to working. That's the reason why we is anyway. We ain't never learned the value of holding out for each other. And if you ask me, I think the movement is just grand. We ain't got no flows to mop up in Africa, and no piano 100 different places for dirt to hide in, to be cleaned up. And everybody's going to be just as much as Turner. No exceptions, Snappy.
Well, you can have your Africa. I ain't gonna let no cannibals make no sister eat me up.
Look at this, Steve.
Now, let me see. I've got it.
No matter, miss?
Yes, sir. Step right this way.
Tell your mistress that Lieutenant Lawton of the United States of Africa craves to have communion with her immediately.
Yes, sir.
Miss, you leader of the Black Africa Lodge?
If you's addressing me, I might answer that I's not the leader himself, but his concert.
Concert? Well, what kind of instrument does you play?
Oh, I have the honor of addressing.
Lieutenant Lawton of the United States of Africa.
Oh.
Is you got your mind on your wife, Snappy?
Now, here's where the emperor sits.
Oh, I think we'd better mark those positions with chairs until the furniture gets here. I was sure they would have been here by now.
Look out there. You knock all the paint off of that woodwork.
All right, then the first woodwork we've seen.
Oh, what's the little paint between the frames?
Where do you want this thing? This thing is heavy.
Show him.
All right, put it there. Put that one over there. All right, the other one over here. Right down there. That's right, ain't it, General?
That's right. Well, lady, this all going to cost you exactly $7.85 for the whole thing.
All right, I'll write you a check for it immediately.
Lady, we don't accept check from white folks. Now, you know.
Well, who are you talking to? I'm the wife of John Bottom, the owner of the paper.
Lady, we can't have if you was the wife of Black Bottom. We can't eat no paper.
Allow me to offer the services of my purse for the protest.
Thank you.
How much did you say the bill was for the hauling of the said furniture?
$7.85.
In cash.
1, 2, 3, and 5 is 8. And, brother, you can keep the change for your services.
Good, here's a swell guy. Give us 15 whole cents.
Now we can buy some stocks in the Black Star line.
Yes, you can go. You can go. Delia, will you bring some refreshments for the General, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Supposing you have a seat and stay a while if you have a few minutes to spare.
Much obliged for your hostility. And this pillar, made up of the red velvet and gold, and which am the footstool of the emperor himself, is the emblem of how soft it's going to be for the colored people after they reach the promised land.
Oh, gee, this movement sure is interesting. Delia, will you see what that extra's about, please?
Extra. Hey, you extra boy. Bring one of them things here. Don't come this way. Go to the door. What's the matter with you? I ain't got no change, ma'am. If you got a dime.
Allow me to offer my service again.
That makes $8.10 I owe you, General.
Let's not discuss the matter for the present.
Gracious! Do you see what these headlines say? Chicago to stop the parade and bring the emperor in with or without chains.
I call that downright persecution. That's what I call it.
Oh, gosh, I hope nothing will happen to bring disgrace on Mr. Bottom. He's done sponsored this parade and all of his editorials. Oh, my.
Madam, you have nothing to be afraid of. The deacon knows what he's going to do long before he do. Madam, didn't the emperor say he'd go and visit your house at high noon? Well, then command your servants to throw open the gates and admit his royal highness.
Open the door, Delia.
Madam, it's your good fortune to have as a guest in your house this day the Emperor of the United States of Africa. Is all been attended to?
I only wait here, Mr. Officer. Bottoms is the lady of the house, was standing over there with the governor.
Lieutenant Lawton. I was at your service, sir.
You can tell the emperor that he may enter. That's all.
Pete and I was left alone with my cabinet for a short conference in advance of the artist's duty we got ahead of us.
Pete! Pencil! I've left. I mean, you can all go to the kitchen where I think there's preparing and vigilance for one and all.
Oh, that's good.
Listen here. We's in a hell of a jam. And I think it's going to take some manipulating to keep us out of trouble this evening.
What do you mean?
I mean that no good, low-down Carmichael was sending all them telegrams that everything's all right, all fixed with the Lord, our program ain't nowhere to be found. The Lord don't know nothing about our coming here and busting up the traffic regulations and tying up the whole city.
What do you mean? We ain't within the law to do no parading?
Man, the Lord don't know you's in town. But when you do find out, something tell me there's going to be fireworks.
Why, ain't you read the paper?
What papers? I ain't had time to read nothing. We've been hustling all morning trying to keep suspicion from the brothers that we ain't safe here. So I had them all down to the armory, giving out titles, decorations, and the like of that. I guess it was 12 pounds worth, wasn't it, brother?
That's right, 12-pound net, that was what written on the box.
I didn't weigh titles and medals so fast, I run out of town. And I expect I got 2 or 3 sisters, queens of the same towns in Africa. Now, you know that ain't never good.
Oh, yeah, telegram I got from the post office on my way down here. I've got to give it to you.
Dear sir, after the parade today, we are instructed to turn over to you the sum of $15,000 as our contribution to the splendid movement which you have created. find the Ye Shall Reap Baptist Church. Now, you see, brothers, we got great revenue.
Sure is, that's right.
And I think I had a plan on it, which I want to place before you before I carry it out.
We with you.
Now, here's the plan. I revised my line of attack. The parade meets in full bloom at the corner of 35th and State Street. That's where the colored folks is.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if the law is coming uptown, they got to start from downtown, ain't they?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I sends my worthy constituent on my left at the head of the downtown marching parade, and my worthy constituent at my right hand takes charge of the parade which is proceeding in the uptown direction. The day has come to a close, and we've done earned our $15,000 as was carried out for the parade as was heretofore agreed. At 8 o'clock in the evening, we again assemble at the Armory. But my brother at my left is no longer the lieutenant of the United States of Africa, but the first vice emperor. And the brother at my right hand, the second vice emperor. In the meantime, the emperor himself in person will be making arrangements for the travel upwards and onwards for to reach New York. For when we reaches New York, the next step will be to put foot on the boat what will carry us to the promised land.
Well, Deacon, Emperor, there ain't no words with which I can express my thanks for this demotion, and I hope to always be unworthy of the same.
Well, that expresses my sentiment exactly. As dignified to be so honored.
Oh, pardon me for intruding, but I have a surprise only for the ears of the Royal Highness that just won't wait.
Let the sister vice a settlement so we can have peace in the future.
Proceed with the surprise, Countess. His Majesty is waiting for your detainment.
Second. Let's wait for His Royal Highness. The birds are singing in the wildwood, in the wildwood, in the wildwood. The birds are singing in the wildwood. The birds are singing in the wildwood, in the wildwood, in the wildwood. The birds are singing in the wildwood, in the wildwood, in the wildwood. The birds are singing.
I've got word for your ears in private.
Dismiss the gathering.
The Emperor thanks you and wishes to be alone.
You may deliver your message, Corporal.
Mr. Carmichael's on telephone to send word to say that the police squadron will be leaving Polk Street Station at 3 o'clock sharp, and that he can do nothing to stop things.
Very well, then. Call the parade immediately to pass in review at 35th and State Street in 15 minutes.
But Mr. Carmichael said that the police is coming to stop the parade, and the paper said it's going to whip our heads.
Silence! Have this corporal remove the private ranks for insulting the chair and showing the white feather of cowardice under fear of battle.
Attention! Report for your duty, under arrest, in the future. But for the present, pass the word to Sambo. Fellow like that. I didn't know about him.
I forgot to tell you that word was received by Mary Lou today that no good sweetheart of hers, Shug, is in Chicago and threatened to waylay her in the parade and do her bodily injury.
What?
So I tenders her a leave of absence to keep down any argument during the process of the proceedings. The world is looking to see us make a failure of this movement.
That's right.
But we quine a fool 'em, brothers.
That's it.
Never was there an emperor with greater enemies to fight against and a greater cause to fight for than Charcoal Johnson.
Then we'll see you at 8.
And all will be well.
At the Armory at 8.
And all will be well.
Marching in the parade.
Madam, for reasons of state, I first not to mention it.
Oh, I'm sorry if I offended, but I just thought it was customary.
Customary? Custom depends on emergencies. Abraham Lincoln would be living today if he hadn't gone to the show that night. Could I use your phone to make recourse with my secretary?
Why, of course, Your Highness.
Englewood, 2314. Could I trouble you for a drink?
Why, good. Anything in this house that your heart desires is yours for the asking.
Hello.
Hello. This you, Mary Lou? I'm sorry to keep you waiting so long. I'll be right over.
Yeah, I suppose you're up to your old tricks around Chicago, eh?
You know you's the best one.
Well, is there any further instructions for me?
That's all for the present. I'll wire you further instructions.
Emperor, what does this stand for?
It stands for the stoutness of heart. What must be in the bosom of every soul, what is chosen to be the leader of his people.
And what is this for?
'Twas presented me by the women of the organization who believes in my teaching and felt the need of doing something to prove their belief.
Well, what must other women do who believe in your marvelous work and would like to do anything to prove the same?
Well, if your husband, Brother Bottoms, wasn't who he is, I might be tempted to tell you what I'd like to have you do.
Well, supposing I say that I don't care if he is the chancellor or the writer himself. I'd like to know from your own lips what you'd like me to do.
Well, then the emperor would be forced to say he can't find words for saying.
But the emperor is a mighty man, who soon conquered the whole South, and women just hankering for him. And I says that he gets what he wants without the asking.
What the?
And since I've been invested with the power of attorney in all matters concerning insurances, my estimates ought to be taken at face value and my judgment in the matter final. Now, I don't want you gentlemen to misunderstand the attitude which I'm forced to assume in these relations. The situation is a phenomenal one, to say the least, and the procedure in handling it requires unusual skill. So I therefore enlisted the assistance of attorneys Wright and Stanwyck, the greatest corporation counselors in the United States. Rhineland and Corby, expert realtors. And with my staff consisting of Aubrey Austin, whom I submitted before the board last meeting in charge of accounting. Samuel Latlow, the only living lazy Negro navigator, in charge of shipping. Now, I feel satisfied in saying that the technical outlook for the new year seems safe and sound. So if there are any questions in reference to investment, expenditure, banking, or any other monetary negotiations, I have here an explicit and detailed account for your convenience.
As the Vice Emperor, I'd like to know how much money is spent and why for since the coming in of your administration amongst us.
Well, I don't think that's necessary, Mr. Second Vice Emperor. But as the first Vice Emperor, I'd like to know how much money we've done took in and where from and what's come of it.
I think that both the first and second vice emperor done spoke out of turn and should apologize to the chair for breach of etiquette. I would say, to my mind, that the most important question now to answer is how much is going to carry out this year's project? How much money is going to take to run this year's ship? How much time is going to take to reach the shoals of Africa? Find out now. The passengers is laboring under belief that they don't pay their fare. And you ain't got no right collecting no new money for saving. Is we, or is we ain't, got money in the treasury enough to cover all matters, which is retained into the safe sailing of the Black Eagle to his destiny?
I'm indeed glad you raised those questions, Your Highness. I have the answers right here for your convenience. It'll require $500,000 more in cash, $500,000 more in securities, to give her a clean bill of lading from this country to Africa. Now, the only important thing I haven't touched upon is this, the law dealing with passports. Now, here's where we're going to experience some difficulty. The country to which you are journeying must give you permission to enter before you may do so. May I ask the board this question? Are we in receipt of any documents from the government of Monrovia?
That's what we should have been asking you. Is you got any document? And that's so vice?
Please. I've been thinking of some of these questions lately, and I can see my way to overcome some of them. But the rest of them still seem to be in doubt. People depending on me to lead them to their natural home. They've been spending the money freely. We've been spending the money freely. Now, I's here to tell every one of you that's in this thing as deep as I is, them cats don't want no no for no answer.
Gentlemen, this is indeed a critical situation. First, you have promised a ship to people without trying to find out what a real one costs. You have even mentioned a sailing date. You've promised land. You've given titles to a country that doesn't even want you in their house.
What's that you say, man? What's that you telling me?
Yes, I cabled the president of Liberia. And I have his answer right here. Why, if you gentlemen can stand it, I'll read it with your kind permission, sir.
We's in a hell of a jam if you should ask me.
People all dressed up and they ain't going no place.
It says Monrovia, Liberia, and the date. For the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Black Eagle Incorporated, New York City, dear sir. We have taken your cable letter under advisement, and we find it impossible to extend our quota for the current year. Trusting that in the future we will have the pleasure of your communication. We remain very respectfully yours. I'm the President of Liberia.
How long have you had that letter in your hand?
I received it 2 days ago.
Who you been showing it around to?
My secretary opened it along with the other man.
You mean to tell me the woman found out for 2 days that we done ain't going no place?
If you put it that way, yes.
Brother, don't you know you was guilty of one of the worst offense that a soldier could be shot for?
Some underhanded work going on around here.
It do look mighty peculiar that the council should not forthwith report this matter to the chair immediately. And being as the other members of the cabinet feel the way they does about your administration, I've got to join their sentiments. After me taking you and making you the cancel the checks, you's fixing to scare the brother to death and spy his faithfulness to the cause. We's asking you what you got to say for yourself before we tender you your resignation.
Well, gentlemen, it grieves me very much to have to remind that I have been commissioned by a corporation known as the Black Eagle Incorporated. And my resignation, and whether I want to submit it or not, will be a matter for the Board of Administration to decide in quorum and not by proxy.
When I get through with you, young man, you'll be too proxy to walk loose in the street.
That is all I have to report to this board. So if you gentlemen don't mind, I'll be leaving, sir.
If you don't mind, you it's 5.
And don't let me catch you out here no more.
Brother, I expect we better tap the treasury some more. But give one grand declaration ball Saturday night.
What do you mean that we... What?
You know, we got to make a brave front or the ship is sunk.
Sunk? Deacon Johnson brought you out of the Rise and Shine Baptist Church where you was digging yams all day and whooping and hollering all night without getting nowhere. He's the one that stuck by me when I was in the need of some resistance. I give you position on the left and right side of me. All the time smoking the best cigars, having your shoes shine, drive around automobiles from one place to the other, having your pictures took, and your fingernails shine without doing a lick of work. That's miracles enough, ain't it? And there's hundreds I've helped just as I helped you. I might say there's 700. So leave the Black Eagle to me. That ship's bound to sail if I have to sail it myself.
Oh. Why, hello, Sheriff.
Oh, hello.
I'm glad to see you.
Yeah?
I'm awfully glad to see you.
That's so.
Won't you rest your hat?
Thanks.
Why, it almost seems like old times, doesn't it?
Yeah. You look mighty sweet tonight. That the gown you're going to wear to the ball?
Oh, this isn't any ball gown. This is the regalia of the first Empress of the United States of Africa.
Yeah?
You look pretty good yourself, Shug. I guess New York's been mighty good to the both of us.
New York has been mighty good to you, all right. But it played hell with me.
Oh, don't start that all over again. You promised you wouldn't, you know.
I know I promised not to talk about anything concerning both of us. But I'm leaving for home tomorrow, and you are staying here or going wherever you're going. And I feel this is the last chance I have to tell you what I'm feeling in my heart.
If you're not going to keep your word about not talking no love, and I ain't just got to listen. You raised enough noise in this man's town for them to keep you in jail. Lord knows I had to make enough promises to get wires working so you could get out to go home safe and sound.
I know I acted a fool about you, losing my good job following your way down here. When I should have known right down there that night when you double-crossed me before everybody, shield that Manny on. But I guess I just can't help it. Well, honey, when you ain't around and I think of you, I can't think of nothing else but good. And when I see you look so sweet. I forgive you for everything you has done to me.
Oh, sugar. You know I ain't got no business listening to you. Making me forget my obligations and feeling as though nothing ever happened between us. It was that night in front of the church where we were so happy loving each other.
Yes, you loved me until that devil messed you up and turned your head against me. But I still feel, honey, that whatever happens to your head, your heart still belongs to me.
Oh, sugar. You better be going. Because I don't want you to get no further trouble up here. Lord knows, if anything would have happened to you, it would pretty near kill me.
I think it's a shame the way you've messed up our lives. Ain't you got the courage left to be the wife of an honest man who loves you more than anything else in this world?
Oh. Hello. Deacon Johnson, you better be going. Yeah. I'll be ready in about 5 minutes. I know. I gave you my word, didn't I? That didn't mean nothing to me. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. Oh, sure. The station wants to make sure that you take the train. And somebody must be watching the house right now because they know that you're here. So for God's sake, though, it's
Spying on you, huh? Going to get me out of the way so he can take advantage of you, huh? Thinks he's God Almighty. Going to run the whole world. Well, if he thinks he can browbeat you into sauce opening me back down south, he's a damn liar. I'm going to stay right here.
Shucks! Have you gone crazy after all I've gone through? Is this the way you're going to treat me?
And if you think I'm going to run away from any nappy-headed emperor, you've got another guest coming. Tonight, I'm going to be at the ball.
Shucks!
And you're going to stay right here.
Ow!
We have no ticket.
Well, the orders is that the guests must have the ticket in the hand when they present themselves at the door for admission.
Now, we done misplaced them tickets. That ought to be enough explained for a piece of paper.
I ain't here for the donkey word. I just here to collect the ticket.
Listen here, you don't know who you's dressing, do you? Well, I'm the Countess of Zanzibar.
Lady, I don't care if you're the King of England. You's going to give me a ticket this evening.
Man, is you a fool? I done told you we ain't got no ticket. I like to see some fresh metal common policeman stop me from getting in here. Come on. Oh man. Get out of my way.
Hasten! What is the nature of this disturbance?
This couple ain't got no tickets, and he's trying to crash the way in.
May I ask what rank, if any?
Why, I'm the Countess of Zanzibar, and this am the Count.
Well, as the first vice emperor of the United States of Africa, I did it fitting and necessary that public apologies be made to both his and her Royal Highness for the embarrassment that's been posed upon them.
Tonight, my friends, I'm not going to take up your time with no speech. I only want to remind you that one of the happiest moments of my life are some of these when I can revive and distribute dividends to all those who is worthy of faith. Yeah! Secretary, would you mind reading from the list of remotions we have for this evening?
Not at all, Your Majesty. Mr.
Whiteside.
Miss Sadie Treadwell. Of Lagos. Mr. Rastus Shorthorn. Major General of the United States of Africa.
Before I make this declaration, I want to draw your attention to the importance which is attached to this office. It has to do with the sailing of the Black Eagle, which, as everyone knows, takes place on the 26th, and which I'd like to say here and now that the boat sails on the aforesaid day. Till I feel the movement of our own steamship line under my beat. I can't wait till I feel the breeze of the ocean just a fanning the sails of the ship which we done bought with our own money from the sweat of the black. I can't wait till I hear the whistle at night. The signal the other ships are sailing the mighty ocean to keep to their own side. Because he's coming through. The Black Eagle ain't standing no foolishness. She's a-cutting the waves and a-knocking the sharks out of the way. I can't wait till I see the rising sun coming up in the sky, making everything round about it the color of the rainbow. Natives are firing guns. I might say cannon guns. To warn the whole world that we's approaching. The often commander of the ship is standing in tension from head to foot of the deck. Is you crying to be there? Is you crying to the promised land? Then we's bound for the promised land.
Listen to me, you all. You've been fooled, cheated, and robbed, and heading for the rock.
You've got to listen to this man or somebody before it's too late.
Two enemies! Rest them!
You better stand back, or else I'll drop the bomb.
It's TNT! Folks, now will you listen? We're trying to tell you that you haven't got any ships. No ships. The Africans don't want you in Africa, and the United States won't grant you any passports. But we have made arrangements for your passage back home.
And prove to these people that these men are lying.
You better confess.
Confess, Charcoal.
Brother, I've got nothing to confess. I've done no wrong. For years I've been dreaming of a way to bring the black brethren out of the bonds of slavery which they still in. Fears I've been teeming, if we all got together like Moses and the children of Israel, that a miracle could happen, and we find a way to live like other people. This dream was so big that all who come in contact with it could see the same as I see. No, I don't know nothing about no science. No, I can't count no money up in no thousands. No, I can't ride no ship by myself, and I can't fight the government single-handed. But I done the brother this far, and it's up to you all to say who you want to take you further.
Thank you.